start, I was studying theater in high school and I studied it in college. And I was doing this play, a local theater show in Dallas. And one of the guys that was in the show with me, his name was Kent Williams. And he was in Dragonball Z. And he, he liked, hey, welcome, sit down, join us. He liked, the way I acted and asked if I wanted to go audition. How's that empanada? Is it delicious? Nice. He asked if I wanted to audition for Dragon Ball Z because they had just recently come to Texas from Canada. And so I did audition, and I ended up, after a few trial and errors, getting the part of Kid Trunks. And then I just, I kept doing it. That was that. And I kept doing some on-camera stuff still, and then when I moved out of California, I kind of just focused on VO. Yes.
What was it like playing Serena Sebastian on?
On Case Closed?
Yeah.
Playing Serena was so much fun because I was just saying back there before I came in that playing the anti-hero is always my favorite. I like playing somebody who does good things but gets to say really mean things. And Serena was one of those kind of characters that she's always like, oh, Rach, your hair will get frizzy. She's such a little, yeah. She was blessed. She was a B word.
The same question is, why didn't Funimation continue with Case Closed dubbing?
I don't know why Funimation didn't continue with Case Closed. I think, man, I don't know. I wish I had the inside scoop, but I don't.
There's 15 movies Case Closed and that they haven't dubbed yet. They only dubbed
Oh, really?
Yeah, they only dubbed movies 1 through 4.
I wonder if it's a thing with rights, or it could be a thing with, if the first movies weren't selling, then they might not, So it all has to do with making money, as a company. But hopefully those will happen, because I would love to go back and work on that. Yes?
How is it doing the voice for Boss in Saints Row?
Oh, being a boss in Saints Row is probably one of the most fun recording experiences I've ever had. Yeah, that freaking game is so awesome. And, I really love when video games treat genders so completely equal, and they do in that game. I mean, there's no difference. And I love making a character that looks like me with my voice, and I just go around and knock people out of cars and do evil things, and it's so much fun.
Before becoming president of
the United States.
And find extraterrestrial life forms.
Always a good thing. That game was so much fun.
Well, but close enough.
It was actually interesting on that game because we all of the bosses, had to match, we had to do the same dialogue, right? We had to do the same cutscenes. Make room, she needs to get out and have a conversation. All of us bosses had the same dialogue, so with the cutscenes, one person had to record it first, and then all of the other bosses had to come in afterwards and record it. And the first boss that recorded on Saints Row 3 was Troy Baker, who is an amazing actor, and I love him dearly. But man, is he hard to record after, because he does all of his lines. Like if the line was, get in the car. That's all the line is. He'll record it like, will you get in the car? And you have to match that freaking timing. And every other person that came in had to do it, and it was really, really, really difficult. So on Saints Row 4, I got to record first, and he had to match me. So I intentionally made my reads as difficult as possible so that he'd have a hard time. And he did. He texted me several times like, I hate you. Yes. Mission accomplished. Yes?
First of all, I just want to say I adored your role as Lucina in Fire Emblem.
Oh, thank you so much.
I wanted to ask if you don't have to specifically name anyone, but if you're planning to lend your talents for the upcoming Fire Emblem game coming out next year.
What? Can't take anything. Yes.
Any particular inspirations for your acting style? Like, who
do I look up to, sort of thing? Well, man, Jen Hale was one of the very first voice actresses that I ever looked up and adored. And that came from, years ago when she was doing Katrina on Quest for Glory 4. Did you guys ever play that? It's a little before your time, but it's really good. It was Sierra, and Sierra was one of the, like, Quest for Glory and all those, and King's Quest, they did all those games, and they were amazing. And then when I found out she also played, Fem Shep in Mass Effect, it was like, seal the deal. I love her. And I totally fangirled out the first time I met her, which she didn't understand at all, because she hadn't played video games yet. She was like, I don't understand why everybody makes such a big deal. I'm like, you're amazing. So yeah, I definitely looked to her, and the first time I played the Dragon Age video games, I feel like those games really changed my acting style, the way that I approached voice acting, because that was the first time that I noticed in a game that it could be cinematic and not animated, if that makes sense. Like everything that you do, like anime has a different style than a lot of the cartoons animated in America, and video games have a different style than that. And
I'm so sorry.
no, you're good. Hello. So when I played Dragon Age, yeah, I was really inspired to up my game, man. And I feel like after I played that, I ended up booking a lot more games because my auditions got better. So it's always a learning process. Yes.
How much fun was it to work with Troy again on the Tales from the Borderlands?
Ugh. And still working with him. I was just recording on that game before I came out here. Yeah, freaking love Tales from the Borderlands. I love recording with Troy. Every time, because, he's like my brother, he's one of my best friends. And so anytime we get to work together, which is actually very often, which is weird. Yeah, we both are like, oh my God, did you record this scene yet? Did you record this? And we'll talk about it forever and wonder where our characters are going, and it's a wonderful experience. So, yes, in the back.
So what was like the role of Kaine here?
I didn't know everything about Kaine, if you know what I mean. When I got cast as her, she's such a freaking awesome character. Funny story with that whole opening sequence, the get your head out of your, that wasn't originally the opening of the game. We recorded that line as we were recording the video game, and you get to it eventually in the gameplay. And we did it in one take, and they laughed and loved it so much that they ended up making it the opening of the game, which I thought was really quite cool. Oops, I cussed, sorry. But yeah, it was a wonderful process. I love that game, and I love that it's a different experience if you play it again. Really cool. Yes. Yes, in the glasses, and then we'll come back to you guys.
Yeah. How is it that you played Lust?
I did play Lust.
How is it the dynamic between wanting Mustang and being your spouse?
Were you guys on the panel with him?
Yes.
Did you ask him a similar question?
Yes, we
Yeah.
asked how he felt about bringing you.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing that playing enemies in Project, which is another thing. I always end up playing like a best friend or a love interest with Troy, and I play enemies with Travis, which is really, really strange. But yeah, man, when we recorded that episode, the inevitable, the fateful episode, Travis and I had watched that episode before either of us recorded on it, because he wanted to show me how cool he was, basically. And I was watching it like, okay, all right, fine. So when I got to it in the recording booth, I was like, and it's just screaming and painful, and I texted him, I'm like, I'm dying here, literally. And he just texted back like, ha 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 ha. No, it's fun. It's fun to get to have those kind of scenes with somebody that you don't feel that way about. I love him. I don't hate him. Yes.
How is it working with Scott while doing Dragonball Z?
With Scott?
Yeah.
McNeil?
Yes.
Actually, I never worked with Scott on Dragon Ball Z. He was one of the original in Canada, and I recorded in Texas. So, what character? He played Piccolo? Yeah, I recorded with Chris Sabat as Piccolo. Who Chris Savick got me and started in the industry. I mean, he's the one I auditioned for when I was getting the part of Kid Trunks. So, but Scott's awesome, and I've met him a bunch of times at cons, but I've never got to work with him. I wish I would. Yes.
I always notice that you have a certain like range of voices. Like you got Lucina, then you have Lucina Fetch and things like that. But then when I played Dissidia and heard you as Cloud of Darkness, I was like, is this Laura Bailey? So how do you come up with that very deep like evil voice, and what kind of techniques do you use to keep on with it?
Those kind of voices are usually about, where you are. When I'm recording a character like that, I'm always sitting. For some reason, it helps to sit, and I find myself with this kind of a posture while I'm recording, which is not very good for your diaphragm support. I don't know why that's the posture that I adopt, but yeah, it's where you are on mic and everything like that. It helps out a lot. And Cloud of Darkness, it helped because all of her lines were so drawn out and so slow that it lets you get into that low place. It's cool. Yeah, I didn't even realize I sounded like that. I went and played the game, I was like, oh man, I sound cool. Yes.
What was your favorite portion to record when you were not in school?
Oh man. Oh, that's hard. The whole show. How about when they get to dance together? I like all the romantic stuff. Wow. And the whole time I'm like, are they gonna kiss? Are they gonna kiss? So yeah, I love that part.
I want to know, how much of Shin-Chan was improvised? Because that was a really funny dub.
Thank you. A lot of Shin-Chan was improvised. A lot of it was, written as well, but some of the jokes were flubs, things that I said the wrong thing and Zach thought it was hilarious and ended up keeping it. Or like the, what was the song? Foam on my belly, foam on my belly. You know that one? That was made up. There were so many more words and we just ended up singing some weird, like, building a train song for it. It was strange. Yeah, a lot of that was improvised on the spot. We had really hilarious writers though. So. Yes.
So do you have a favorite role, and on top of that, do you have a favorite series that's maybe a separate from your favorite role?
Oh man, that changes every single day. That's really hard. Oh man. Okay, this is not anime related, but one of my favorite series to work on now is Avengers Assemble. I play Black Widow in that, which is so freaking cool. And getting to record on those shows are fun because you get to be in a booth with a bunch of other people, and so I'm recording with all my best friends, every week. And that's such a fun experience, and everybody is so talented on that show. And it really has become like every time we get in there, it's like we're all in detention, and our director Colette is just, our teacher trying to get us to behave. Yeah, that's a really great show to work on. Favorite role ever? What? I don't know. What should I say, you guys? I don't know. Maka? Tohru? Shit, I don't know. He was fun. Getting to talk about poop, man. It's a good time. Yes.
How did you feel about your part in Sarah in 13-2, and especially working with Claudius?
Claudius, who's...
I forgot his name.
Working on Final Fantasy is a dream come true. That was always, and you can go back and watch old panels that I did, and I said that what I wanted more than anything was to get cast in a Final Fantasy game, and it happened, and so I freaked out. And it was kind of bittersweet in Final Fantasy 13 because I didn't get to be in the party, and so when 13-2 happened, and that's cool and all, I got to, that way I didn't know what was going on, it made it more of an experience for me when I was playing it, but 13-2 to get to it was awesome. And he's such a talented actor, so yeah. Anytime you get to play off of somebody who's as talented as that, it's great.
Thank you.
So, what's it like? I like Persona. I did like roles where you say.
Oh.
On a more general question, sort of related to that, what's it like reprising roles? Getting called back for stuff? Like,
Something that you haven't played in a while, or?
but something you have played before, and the range between someone telling you, we need you, we're just gonna get you, or you have to compete all over again.
Right, oh,
What
man.
that's like.
It's always a blessing when you get called and they say, oh, we're putting you, like, what game was it that they just put, like, well, Smash Brothers, so they put Lucina in. It was awesome. It's like, oh, really? I don't even have to, cool. And it's rewarding because it means that somebody likes that character enough that they want to see it again. So that's always a good thing. It's hard, man, when you're auditioning for roles and you know you're going against a freak ton of other people, and it's hard. So yeah, it feels really, really good when somebody just comes to you and says, hey, I like your work. Be in my game or be in my show. It's like, oh my god. Yeah, it's beautiful. Yes, with the hat.
One of my favorite games is Valkyria Chronicles, and you playing Isara Gunther was actually a really cool experience because she has to deal with all the discrimination that's thrown at her because of who she is.
Mm-hmm.
How did it feel kind of play a character like that who has to deal with those kind of problems?
Heavy. That character was really difficult. Jack Fletcher was my director on that, and he is so amazing that he always helps you get in the headspace before a session, you know, and he really walks you into something. And that was one of the first games I did when I moved out to California. Yeah, it was a hard recording process. I remember being really kind of depressed the whole time we were recording it, just because of the headspace that she was. So yeah.
Like getting complimented backstage, Tommy was so.
Oh man, I tweeted that. I was so excited about it. Felt good. Even though I knew it wasn't him, I was like, I don't care. I'm taking it. Have you guys seen The Room?
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, Sarah. Oh hi, Mark. Oh man, yeah, it felt good. Yeah.
Have you ever had a role where you auditioned for it, you got it, and you're like really excited, and then you start recording lines and you just have this realization of, oh my god, what the hell have I gotten myself into?
Yes. Oh my gosh. There's been so many times where you go in the booth and you're like, wait a minute, this is not what I thought. But most of the time, it's a really fun process, regardless. So, and it's good to be at a place in my career that if I do see an audition come through that doesn't look like, you know, something that I'd want to be with for a few years, then I don't have to audition, which is really, really nice.
Yeah, are you superstitious?
Am I superstitious?
Yeah.
Yes, I am. So have you guys, have any of you seen Critical Role? It's okay, it's a show that we do for Geek and Sundry every Thursday night. We did it last night. Me and Travis literally Skyped in for it. We play Dungeons and Dragons on Twitch with a bunch of other voice actors. So Matt Mercer runs the game. Liam O'Brien plays my twin in it, which is funny because we actually have the same birthday. Ashley Johnson, who played Ellie in Last of Us. So it's a bunch of really amazing voice actors. And you know, you're rolling dice because it's D&D. And I am superstitious when it comes to my dice. If I have rolled it and it rolls bad like 3 times, that dice is out. I won't use it again. Or like when I maybe gamble in Vegas, and I have this thing, like if I'm playing craps, I have to like squeeze the dice really hard every single time before I throw them. Because I want to like feel it in my hand before I throw it, and I feel like it makes a difference. It doesn't, but I feel like it does. Yes. Yeah.
Actually, a comment because I'm watching Tsunami and there was the filler villain in Naruto, the one that sucked the energy of people.
Mm-hmm.
She reminded me of the Shin-Chan episode where it was interesting reincarnated Hitler, you know he's trying hard. Because she's like this big monster, remember?
I do remember
So,
that.
that's definitely the Shin-Chan episode.
Yep, I have part of that episode on my demo reel. But lots of guys look sexy bald. I have that on my.
Oh god.
Captain Picard, Bruce Willis, Natalie Portman. Yes.
You did Lucina for Smash Brothers 2, right?
Yes.
Okay. How long did it take to do a game where most of your dialogue is just grunts?
Not long. Smash Brothers, I think, was less than a 2-hour session.
Oh,
Yeah, so it was a pretty fast process. Yes.
Do you think Tohru should have ended up like Yuki or
Cute. I mean, come on. He wears a crop top. Who can beat that? Yes, Luigi.
While I was still on the topic of Smash Brothers, do you actually main Lucina, or do you like to play as some of the other characters?
I actually haven't played Smash Brothers.
Oh.
Judge me hard. Yeah, I haven't played it. No.
Do play it.
Do play it, and I will play as Lucina because when I played Street Fighter, I played as Chun-Li because, you know, that's what you gotta do. Yes.
Clarify something for me here, because my friends and I are kind of confused. In Heroes of the Storm, are you both Jaina Proudmoore and Vala, or did somebody
I am both of them.
Okay,
Yeah.
so nobody replaced you for Vala. Okay, good.
No. Yes. Do I sound like me?
You sound different for both characters, so
That's
like,
good.
you did a really good job.
Okay, good. Yes. Yes. I haven't played it, but I hear it's amazing. And yeah, I remember recording it, and I remember having to sit down several times while recording that character because she kept making me go out of breath because she's a cool cat. Yes, white hair.
Do you ever play a game that you are voice acting as your character or with your character that you choose another person and make jokes and then start talking instead of having the person on the screen to trick the friend?
Oh, not to trick, but I do play and then I'll talk as my character. Just because that's what I do. So if we were playing Street Fighter, I would talk like Chun-Li. If I'm playing Dragon Age, have any of you played Dragon Age Inquisition? So I play Bianca and I play Dagna in that game. And I did a lot of talking to myself as Dagna, like when I would go into the under thing so I could make stuff, I would just start talking as Dagna to my player character for some reason. Yes, Hat.
How did you get the role of
I auditioned.
So they didn't just like ask you?
No, I think I auditioned. It was a long time ago. I haven't gone in a long time. Oh, are you leaving me?
Yeah, sorry.
I love you. You're awesome.
Have a fun time.
Have fun storming the castle. Yeah.
Introduce your part as a Schrodinger
Did you audition for that?
No, I didn't audition for Schrodinger.
Because I was wondering, it's like, what would possess somebody? It's like, yes, I want to be a reality bending mountain cat boy.
I know, right? That just comes through. No, who was it that cast me in that? Was it Jonathan or was it Taliesin? It might have been Taliesin Jaffe, who also plays Critical Role with us. You guys should watch it. It's so much fun. Huh?
I think, were you Rick Van Winkle or I don't know?
No, I was not. I was just Schrodinger in Helsing. But yeah, so that's a fun character. Yeah. Man, I got all the best characters. Screw all those other people. You in the back with your hand up.
What was the most fun you had working on BloodRayne?
Okay. Oh, when we were recording BloodRayne, that was the first video game I did, or the second. It was the first time I was like the lead, right? So I was still like working things out, and I was working on my fighting reactions as she was like swinging those blades on her, and they gave me a sword in the booth, which is not. I don't think that was the smartest move on their part, but So they were like, every time you do a grunt, just swing the sword, and it will sound really organic. Only I'm swinging a freaking sword at a microphone, and yeah, I knocked over the stand. I also was working on how to make like the sucking sounds while she was sucking blood, and I gave myself a hickey on my arm while I was recording. Yeah. Good times, good times. Sunglasses.
Did you ever have a role that you really wanted and you didn't get?
Every day. Yeah. Oh man. Oh man. So Mass Effect, which I was a huge fan of. Mass Effect. Was it 2? Which one had Jack in it? 2. That was one of the first games I auditioned for when I signed with my agent in California. And it didn't say the game, it didn't say the character, but I could tell from the sides that it was Mass Effect. And I didn't know if it was a new commander, I didn't know. So I kind of sounded like Jen when I did my audition a little bit. And then when I played the game, and I did get it because Courtney is amazing and she got it. When I played the game and realized that's the character I was auditioning for, I was like, oh, come on! It was so cool, and I really wish I would have been it. But then, there's a catch-22, because if you voice it, then you already know what's gonna happen, and I love playing the games too, so it's hard. So it all worked out for the best. Go Courtney Taylor. Yes.
Would you like to share some of the experience regarding the voices in Code Geass, per se?
Code Geass was an interesting recording process because there were so many people in the cast that so often we would come in and, my characters in that show, Rakshata and, I don't even remember who else I played. I never played with a lot of people. But it would be weeks in between recording, or maybe a month, and then I'd come in and I would have 3 lines in one scene, and then 2 episodes later I would have 5 lines. I had no clue what was happening in that show when we were recording. I was just like, oh, I hope you are directing me right, because I don't understand what's happening right now. So it was fun when I watched it and it all came together. I was like, oh, okay, I get it. That's interesting. That's what was happening. Cool, good to know. Yes.
What was it like when you got to play Kushina, Naruto's mother?
Oh man, that was some tough scenes. That was hard. Mary Elizabeth McGlynn is the director on Naruto, and she is phenomenal. And both of us were sobbing when we were recording those scenes because they're hard scenes to do. And I mean, I watched it in Japanese and would be crying, and then we'd have to get ourselves together so that we could start out kind of okay and then work yourself back up to sobbing again by the end of it. And it was difficult, but very rewarding. I love being Kushina. Yes?
Do you ever catch yourself taking habits or catchphrases?
Yeah, with Tohru, never give up. I always think that. And if I ever see, I saw a shirt, I was so mad. I was walking through an airport and I saw a shirt that had that on it, and I didn't buy it. I still regret that I didn't get it. I should just make a shirt that says never give up. That's not that hard. Yeah, I do, and it's there's Shin, something he always did was the ooh, and I do that all the time. Yeah, Travis loves that. He thinks it's hilarious, so I do it a lot. It's awkward. Yes, Luigi again.
Going back to Shin-Chan, any voice of the funniest lines besides the ooh you just mentioned?
Besides the ooh that I just mentioned, yeah.
Yeah. What are some of the other funny things that were hard to keep a straight face after you said it?
Oh, come on. Every single thing he said was hard to keep a straight face for. It's not in my normal nature to talk about poop that much. So, yeah, I literally, it was shame at the door, walk into the booth and just go for it. Yeah, that whole show we were laughing the entire time. Yes.
Okay, I'm just trying to follow up on your shirt thing, but let me ask you real quick. Do you watch pro wrestling?
I don't. I watch UFC.
There's a wrestler by the name of John Cena who has the words "never give up."
Seriously? Oh, is that what that shirt was for?
It might be.
That is hilarious.
But odds are, if you want a shirt that says "never give up,"
I could find one.
Buy one of his shirts.
I like it. It's a whole different world. I like it. Yes.
How is it playing to Haribo on Bleach?
Awesome. Every single episode I go, oh, that's showing, okay. There's a lot of boob. Boob. Just below boob. No, she's super tough. Playing the tough characters, that's a tough call. I think they're my favorite when you get to be like really, really badass. Because I don't get to be badass in real life very often, so it's a nice departure. It makes me feel good. Yes.
Well, what about the role of Raspberry, starting with Disgaea 3?
Again, super, super cool. Oh man, and Vic was in that. Oh, that was so much fun. I missed that game. Yeah, Vic.
I need to play that.
It's super good. You guys should totally play it. Who's played that, Disgaea? Oh man, not enough apparently.
Does playing Disgaea's 1 and 2 count?
Sure. Was I in them?
I don't think you were.
Then no. Yes, exactly. Yes, you had your hand up with the. I was gonna say the yellow thing, but everybody's got that. But yeah, you just turned around and looked. Yes. Oh right, because I asked a question. What's up, guys? Who has a question that hasn't asked a question yet? If anybody, you haven't asked one.
Yes. For the Megama series, how hard was it to differentiate between?
This could be dangerous. You could watch me fall on my ass. Okay, here we go.
How hard was it to just differentiate between the two female characters?
Evangeline and Ayaka. Not that hard. Their personalities are so very different, but I do think it's weird that I played the two blonde bitches. Oh man, again with the cuss. I'm sorry. In the show. I'm sorry. Actually, the most fun with doing the two voices was doing the song. Do you ever listen to the song? Yes. Yeah, because I got to sing a duet with myself, which is so much fun. And originally, it was just going to be me singing it. And there's something about it, when I'm singing as myself, I feel really uncomfortable. But if I'm singing in character, I don't. And so we just decided to make it a duet with myself in the booth. And it worked out really well, and it was so much fun. Yes.
So this career, what's the greatest challenge? Or what's a skill that you wish you had tried?
Well, something that I'm doing more and more of, because you know, I do a lot of video games now, more than anime. Motion capture is something that we're all doing a lot more of in video games, just because of the way the technology is advancing. We did it for Infamous, and I think I'm allowed to say it, because I was allowed to say it on Twitter yesterday. Halo 5, I play one of the Spartans in Halo 5. So yeah, Spartan Vale. So yeah, we did mocap for that. Something that I want to develop more is the ability to do like more stunt sort of work. Because so often in games, you know, I do a lot of my own motions. You know, in Infamous, I did all of my own like running and everything like that. We did Lost Planet 3, and I did actually a lot of like leaping off of things for that character as well. But like Halo, I can't do the awesome stuff that like my Spartan does. So we had really amazing stuff. People come in and do it, and watching her work, it made me want to step up my game so hard. So I think, yeah, I'll probably end up taking some sort of fighting classes or something so that I can get a little bit better at that. Because there's so much work in motion capture right now that, you know, you gotta go where it is. There's just so many projects coming up that are motion capture that you want to be able to, you know, it's just like any career, you constantly have to be bettering yourself, right, in order to stay at the top of your field. And in order to get those parts, it's better to say I have stunt capability, you know? So, yes, in the red shirt. It is a very different process. A lot of times with games that are coming over from Japan, we won't get the same time for character development that you do on games being made here, and that's just because, you know, the characters have already been developed. They've already been created, and you're redoing the process. And everybody, you know, we always like to put our stamp on it and make a character our own, but it's kind of like taking a puzzle that's already been completed and taking it apart and then putting it back together. So a lot of those chunks are already in place, you know what I mean? So a lot of times when we're recording the Japanese translated dialogue, it'll just be like long scripts of just line after line after line after line, and you won't get those moments, you won't get to interact with other people in a way. And I'm always impressed. That's in those games you really have to trust your director and realize and see at the end how the process came together. And then with doing games here that are in the process of being made, so often we get to be a part of the creation process. Like with Infamous, we went up to Sucker Punch and hung out with the guys making the game, and hung out with the writers, and really created our characters. You know, we said things that would make sense for our character, and they put it into the script, and you can change the lines as you're working because you're filming it, so you can say, this scene isn't feeling right, how can we change this and make it. So yeah, it's a lot more involved process when we're making one here. Yes?
Yeah, what's the weirdest fan experience?
What's the
Weirdest fan experience?
The fan experience?
Yeah, you know that any fan coming there wanted
The greatest fan experience.
Oh,
the weirdest, you know that.
Oh man, the weirdest fan experience.
Yeah.
Well, okay, at a con, I had somebody give me a picture of Tohru Honda giving birth. But it wasn't like a side angle. It was straight on. Ooh,
The
yeah,
whole thing?
yeah, the whole thing, the whole shebang.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so that was a little strange. That was the same con that I think somebody gave Vic hair.
That was
Whoa,
a
that's-
fan drawing, right?
It was a fan drawing. It was a fan drawing. Yeah, that didn't come from from Monterey. No, it was a fan drawing. Yeah, but yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. It was just different, you know.
Unexpected.
Unexpected. That's the right word.
Oh,
Yeah.
God. Wow.
Yes.
Have you ever, like now in your experience of kind of being famous in the whole voice acting society, have you ever decided to dress up in cosplay and go out to one of these conventions, kind of secretly, even though, because people they don't see you, they just know you behind the scenes.
Right.
So before you do handle at a convention, have you decided to go cosplay?
I have never gone in cosplay, but I did put together a costume for Sana when I was doing Koda-chan. So yeah, Chris Sabat, she wears this like pink sweater that has "girl" written on it, and he made the sweater for me. He got it embroidered with "girl," and I had the whole outfit. I just never wore it anywhere. No, I've always wanted to do cosplay for a character. Everybody's so good at it here, and I just feel like my costume would be so lame. But I really do want to do something sometime. I'm not sure when. I feel like so many of my characters are like young, and I feel like so old putting the costume on. Oh no, so old, you guys. What? Cosplay's kaine. Yeah, just a little sock in my pants. Yes.
So, as of late, in the last several years, we've seen the movement in the entertainment industry of being more accepting of larger women.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say that there have been similar issues in the voice acting circles, and if so, have you seen similar improvements, or is it just not an issue at all with voice acting?
You know, it's not really an issue with voice acting because, you know, any of us can play anything. The only time that like size or body type at all comes into play is with motion capture. But even that, you know, like you can be any size and they can change you into anything. So it's really just a matter of if the the people casting it are aware of that, or if they want to see somebody that looks just like the character they're imagining.
Within
But-
reason.
Within reason, exactly. But I mean, I could play a giant friggin' robot. I could play, which in Knack, I don't do it, but
Or
TJ
formless
Storm
spirit.
plays a giant robot, and he also plays a teeny tiny little thing, so.
Or formless spirit.
Or a formless spirit. Okay. Oh, I don't think the game ever came out because it was a Castlevania game. It was like the very first job I ever did mocap for. And we flew to Japan for it, and we were there for a couple months. No, that's a lie. We were there for about a month. But at the same time, another Castlevania game was being made with Patrick Stewart, and they ended up releasing that one instead of ours. But I played 3 different women in the game. And one of them, at one point in the game, transforms into this giant spider monster thing. And so I had to film that, of like the transformation and then walking around like and I was so stupid. I felt so dumb. And the worst part is, then you have to go back later and record your audio to match the video. And so I had to see myself. It was terrible.
I thought the spider thing was scary enough.
I bet the spider thing would have looked awesome had it been animated, but it was, alas, just me looking like an idiot.
This is why there's SolidWorks and the whatnot.
Exactly. Oh, that's hurting my butt. Okay, there we go.
Ow.
Yeah, right? Little teeny tiny fingers. Yes.
When you go over to Japan and you're doing something like the Japanese company, do you ever meet the original voice actors and converse how they portray the character?
Well, I've never been to Japan working on anime. It's just been for video games. And it's crazy because sometimes in Japan, they use Western actors for the original. So that's the only experience I've had over there, is being the first to portray a character. Yeah, even in, which is so weird, in Resident Evil Degeneration, the film, the CG movie, we were the original actors on that, and then they animated it, and it was a little bit different, so everybody thought that we had dubbed it, but we actually had done the original audio and then they animated to us. Yeah, so it's just, it's a back and forth kind of thing, Yes? We filmed in Tokyo, and then Travis and I took a little side trip over to Kyoto for a few days, but that's the only place I've been. Yes.
Were you excited to be casted in a Telltale series of Game of Thrones?
Oh my gosh! Do you know how big of a fan I am of Game of Thrones? Huge fan. So I've been a fan of those books since I was in college.
Even though characters are getting killed off faster than
I know, right? Well, now the show is different than the books, but yeah, whatever.
George R. R. Martin.
No, George R. R. Martin. I love him. He's like a really demented Santa Claus. I met him at Comic-Con, and I freaked out so hard meeting him. I mean, fangirled so hard, and he's the only person that I've literally started shaking and was embarrassed to talk, and it was a dream come true. Yeah, when I got cast in Game of Thrones, I freaked out because all those sides came through, the auditions came through, and I was already working with them on Borderlands, and I had already worked with them on Wolf Among Us, so I was like, come on, Telltale, love me, please. But then all the sides came through, and they were all for the original. It was for characters that are already in the show. So I was like, I want to audition for those, but I have a feeling they're probably going to be able to get the actors, and they did. Ended up being able to get the original actors, which is super, super cool. Makes the game even cooler. So yeah, when I'm a character that's not actually in the books, but also really cool.
Adaptations.
Exactly.
Did you interact with the actors?
I haven't interacted with any of them yet. Ugh, I know. I just want one. I'm kind of in the same area as Ramsey. Please, just let me talk to him. Kill me. I don't know. Yes.
Make love to me.
Creepy. Yes.
What was the weirdest thing you were told to say or do in the booth?
Ever? Oh.
How about this? Something that surprised you in the first year. Like
Okay, yeah, Shin-Chan is always going to be weird.
But something that.
Last one in the basement is a dead hooker. Yeah, it's just, everything is weird. Oh, okay. Oh, I don't want to give it away. Who's played Borderlands? Who's played Tales from the Borderlands?
I played Borderlands, but not the Tales.
You gotta play it. It's so
I
good.
know. I played the first two, and I played the pre-sequel, never the Tales.
You gotta play Tales.
You gotta play Tales.
It's so funny. I am so happy with those games, literally, and I know everything that's gonna happen, and I love it. Play it. I'm pointing at nobody in particular.
Well, how's it gonna be any different from, say, Walking Dead, the one who practically invented this the new generation of cinematic arts?
Right? Well,
Or
it's the same
Wolf
time.
Among Us.
Hold on. I forgot my question now. Weirdest thing, right. There's a scene, if you play it, that involves a spork. I'm just gonna leave it at that, because I don't want to give away spoilers, but it was pretty weird to record.
Uh-oh.
Are you filming me, or are you taking a picture? Oh my god, what's that? Yes.
How is it working with Crispin during Helsing?
With who? Crispin?
Yeah.
He's so talented. He's so okay, the first time I met Crispin, I was convinced he was actually a vampire. He doesn't age. He dresses like Superfly. And there's just something about his bearing that is so proper and so, like, 18th century that I was like, oh, he's definitely a vampire. I went out to eat with him, and he literally, I'm gonna put my microphone. He eats like, see, I don't even need a microphone. Anyway, he eats like, he has his fork and his knife, and he's cutting up a salad. He's cutting up a salad. He sets the knife down. He moves the fork over to his other hand, takes the bite, sets it down. Picks them both up. And I mean, he's so proper. It was amazing. You're holding up a sign. 10, 5, 10, 10. I have 50 minutes left. Good job.
Damn, you broke it.
Somebody had.
Oh, you gotta pay for that now.
Hold on. I'm really good at fixing things. Never mind. Okay.
Shame on you.
My friend is a huge Helsing fan. Like, you know, I just wanted to know if I could get a little shout out from Schrodinger. That's okay?
Oh, yeah. Totally fine.
Hold on.
I'm just gonna, say it while I'm putting this thing back on. Are you filming me?
Should I just make a little audio sample?
Well, let's do it. Actually, you know what? Let's do it after the panel. How about that?
Okay, I'm like
So
the
it's not so
autograph
awkward,
thing.
because this isn't awkward at all right now. You can't get this back on. What's my problem?
Mind if I
It just
try?
looks so, like, lame now.
Mind if I try?
You're gonna be at the autograph thing, right?
She's gonna help.
I'm taking that as a no.
A what?
You're gonna be at the autograph panel?
Am I? Of course.
Okay, I'll just get it there. How about
Oh,
that?
okay, that's perfect.
Yeah, one. Yeah, any autographs wanted can be had at 1 o'clock in
1 o'clock?
in the
C.
room C.
In room C. 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock. Uno.
3 o'clock. In room C. 1 o'clock. 2 o'clock. Anytime, literally anytime. Yes.
You were somehow stuck with one role for the rest of your career.
Oh no, that would be the worst.
It'd be like a Simpsons scenario.
Oh, but at least they get to play a bunch of different characters.
Who'd figure the voice of Homer Simpson was also his grandfather?
What?
Homer's father and
Man.
Krusty Clown.
I don't know who I would pick. I feel like it's gotta be something I can sustain for my whole life, right? So it'd probably be a voice like Black Widow or something. I don't know, man. I don't know. But if I was getting paid what the Simpsons actors were getting paid, I think I'd be okay. I'm okay not to leave again. Yes.
Earlier you said you hadn't played Smash Brothers yet. So
Right.
I'm just curious, have you at least played Fire Emblem Awakening yet? No?
No.
No.
She didn't play that.
Judge me.
No, I'm not judging you.
I did walk into, when Travis and I got our house and I was buying furniture for it, I walked into the furniture store and the dude that was working there was playing Fire Emblem on his DS. And I was like, oh my god, that's me. And he was like, yeah. I'm like, no, it's me. That's me. Give me a discount. I got a discount on our dining room set. It's pretty great. That's like the one time I used my Celebris pad. Yes.
So can we have a sentence or two of what you think Shin would think of Metrocon?
I think that Metrocon is really cool. It could use a few more dinosaurs and some cute kittens. So that I could put some poop on it.
You sure you left out xenomorphs in there somewhere?
Somewhere.
Oh god.
Yes.
What's the most asked question?
The most asked question is how did you become a voice actor, or how can I get into voice acting? Which is understandable, because I would think that most people coming to panels, it seems like a pretty cool career. But it's also online everywhere, so that's the beauty of the internet and YouTube. Yes.
Alright, so here's also an image for, because of Rise, I haven't played per se, but the lore of since you Rise and the Shadow, it also gives the image of stripper Maka.
I will not give a Maka stripper image right now. Thank you for the suggestion, but
But an older one, but that is kind of a disturbing image.
it would be a disturbing image.
Especially when you take into account the one episode where Maka's father tried to graduate her for a perfect score.
Yeah.
But the problem is he just went one with another woman, and two, that woman just happens to be Blair. Of all other.
Oh, sneaky, sneaky.
Winky, winky.
Winky, winky. Yes.
Yeah. Any tips for an aspiring voice actor?
Any tips? Yes. Let's see. Never give up. Read a lot, because that's all we do all the time is have to read, and most of the time you're reading cold on mic. So that means we've never seen the lines before, and you have to just kind of say them really fast. Especially in anime, you're saying them and watching a scene and saying them and watching, and you don't have time to really think about it. So to get that skill to read quickly is really important. So just read books out loud at home. It's a good way to do it. Practice doing different voices. Another tip is don't just try to do impersonations of other voice actors. While that's a cool trait to have, that voice actor is probably already going to be cast in that role. So come up with different sounds that you haven't been created. Like D. Bradley Baker, man, he is working all the time, one of the biggest names, and he still stays at home all the time and practices doing different sounds. And he is the leading person if it comes to creature voices. People call him up because they know that he's constantly coming up with new things.
Like Frank Welker.
Like Frank Welker.
Only younger.
Exactly. And he's so talented. Yes? Cut it off. Last question. Last question. I don't know. I don't think I did, no. I think that was somebody else. But I bet they're really cool. Oh, that was the last question? No, that's a bad last question. Who's got a good last question? Yes.
How do you feel about the whole solitaire anime getting denied following manga
Right? It kind of sucks, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, it kind of sucks. But, you know, it is what it is. That's why I was so bummed like that we didn't ever get to do more Fruit Basket too. Because there's so much more to do. Yeah, right? Yeah, so you guys rock. Thank you.